Meet the car Polestar hopes will be its best seller in Australia. It's called the Polestar 4 and it's a mid-size coupe-style electric SUV that's here to battle the Tesla Model Y as well as other big-name luxury Euros. You've seen us hit the road in it overseas, but now that the 4 is finally here, we're going to take you for a closer look at the interior of this funky Chinese-Swedish SUV. Starting strong, there's no rear window, and that's perhaps the most controversial and definitely the most talked about thing with the new Polestar 4. Designers opted to replace the traditional rear glass window with a solid panel instead, and that supposedly helps out with both boot space, but also gives rear passengers more comfort by giving them more headroom. We'll be the judge of that in a moment, but first, take a look at this. This is your rear view camera, and at first glance, it looks like a regular old mirror, but this is what it's going to look like when you're driving. It works because there's a camera on the back of the roof and it points obviously backwards to display what's behind you. The steering wheel is another sight to behold in the Polestar 4, and these backlit haptic touch buttons feel really special. If you've been in a Polestar 2, you'll know that the steering wheel buttons and controls here aren't exactly intuitive at first. And it's a similar story here, but once you spend time working out what each button does, it really becomes quite easy. If you didn't know, Polestar prides itself on sustainability, and its vegan interiors are often just as lush as they are environmentally friendly. Some of the materials here started life as fishing nets or plastic bottles, while recycled steel features heavily throughout components of the car, including the body, the subframe, and some of the brake components. It might not sound all that appealing, but yes, you still get that new car smell, and it feels really nice in here. Here's some ASMR if you want to see what it sounds like. Tech-savvy buyers will love the Polestar 4, and in particular its infotainment unit. It's different to other Polestar models in that this time it's landscape oriented instead of portrait, but it measures up at a whopping 15.4 inches and it's home to just about every control you'll need. It also uses a really smart Android Automotive Google operating system. As such, it really pays to spend time getting acquainted with it, and you can do things like change the interior ambient lighting by choosing which planet you want to be on. The other thing you can do is say, "Hey Google, can you turn the fan speed up to maximum?"
Sure, changing the fan speed to the highest.
So you don't really have to take your hands off the wheel to do much. As mentioned, the closed-off rear end is supposed to give you more space in the second row, and you can also recline the backrest. Now, you can do this in plenty of SUVs, but unless you're buying a Rolls-Royce, you're probably going to have to do it manually. These ones can be done with the flick of a button here, or through this little screen, this digital screen, which is also another cool feature that you don't normally get in an SUV unless you're spending big bucks. So you can also adjust the seat backs here, but you can do the climate control, you can play with the radio and annoy the driver. There's lots of little features here. More USBs down here as well as the ones up front, and there is generally a fair bit of room back here. I feel like taller people might have an issue. I'm 166 centimeters tall, so it's, yeah, more than enough for me. And I could really spend a road trip back here. It's really comfortable. The only thing is the electrochromatic roof shade, so something to make like a tinted roof per se, isn't coming till next year. So if you get in early with this Polestar 4, you might be baking in the summertime, but I won't know until I try this in the summertime. Well, thanks for joining us for a closer look inside the new Polestar 4. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the Car Sales channel. And while you're here, get involved in the comments too and let us know what your favourite feature in the new Polestar 4 is.